our guest speaker here in a sec, but we got some announcements. So welcome everybody to Team B Call. Happy April. Some of us are getting back from California, and anybody still jet lag, or are we getting over the jet lag? We're back into action. I know, Sarah, you were painfully getting to work, I think, Monday morning, feeling like it was like 5 a.m., right? So, but always worth it to get to conference. If you guys haven't checked out the conference update, I did do about a 23-minute video on Team B on Monday, and did a quick synopsis of the conference and some of the big highlights. So got a list here for about 5 minutes, and then we'll bring on Alisa. So first thing, as you guys know, we have the house study contest. So we will make an announcement probably tomorrow when Nikki pulls the numbers of who is winning on the house study so far, how many numbers that we have. I know we had some big numbers last month, and numbers are coming in very strong this month. So it'll be fun to see who is focusing on the house study. And if you guys are new, what that means is we have a house study. It's when mom or dad signs up and the kid gets it for free. The person on our team that gets the most house studies in the month wins cash. So the first prize is $100, second is $25, and third is $25, and lots of recognition. Second thing I want to talk to you guys about is Calgary Conference. I want 2 hands up if you're going. 2 hands up. Yes, who's going? Yeah, our first Canadian conference. We are so excited, and I see lots of people are coming. There was a special if you did get your conference ticket. It was $75 on Monday. It's gone up to $100 now, but you can win it if you fast track to VF like Karen did. She will win a free conference ticket. Woo woo woo! So fast track to VF, free conference ticket. So one thing I want to say that came out of conference. Anybody here a little competitive? Give me 2 if like you're a really competitive person. I'm competitive. Anybody else? Yeah? Here's the deal, guys. This contest came out called the Super Builder. And we were like, yeah, okay, this is good. But all of a sudden we got down to conference and got more details about the Super Builder. And I was like, holy cow, I want to be a Super Builder. Why do you want to be a Super Builder for Calgary Conference? So Super Builder means that you have sponsored 5 frontline people and you helped 5 frontline people get to fast track VF. When you do that, not only do you get a $1,500 bonus, but you get VIP access to the conference, which means that you will literally be treated like a rock star at conference. You will get VIP seating, there will be massive amount of recognition, and you will be invited to the special Friday night dinner, which is called the Legacy Awards Dinner. And only top leaders get to go there. But you will be invited. You will be rubbing shoulders with the best of the best in Canada and developing some pretty crazy connections very quickly about who's running the show and who's moving and shaking. So Super Builder is a really big deal. Now think about it. That's $1,500, but remember, every time you sponsor a VF, you get $300. So in the bank is an extra $3,000 to go after just for fast tracking VFs. Now here's the thing, any guesses if we are close to Super Builders in Canada? Put a hand up if you think that we're getting close to Super Builders. There are 6 Super Builders that have already sponsored 4 frontline VFs. We've already got 6 people in Canada on track to hit it, 6, and they're none on our team right now. And so the competitive nature in me, I'm like, oh, we got to do this. So I've reached out to quite a few of you, and some of you have committed to Super Builder, and that's really, really exciting. So let's see how many Team B can be on stage for Super Builder. That will more than pay for your conference. Third thing, design your Sweet Life page. We have a contest around that. The contest is every time you tag somebody in the pinned post, which Alisa.H has posted, which is welcome to the sweet community, we are counting. And there's going to be some prize money given away to the person that's adding the most people. So far, the people that I see that are adding the most, congratulations to Crystal, Ashley, and yeah, me. I'm adding. I'm playing too. I can win my own catch, you know. Number 4. I want to talk to you about is we are on day 12 of Design Your Sweet Body. So thank you for all of you guys that are participating. I think we have about 55 people on this round. So this is the second part. And it's really fun to kind of see and witness people behind the scenes doing the program, getting excited, getting results. So for those of you that are participating, thank you. And as you guys know, this is our first round, and we will continue with this excitement to love and support on your customers and give them that inspiration to love on our new program. The new program has really just been rebranded. It's just Shred twice a month, really. But I just want to make sure that when you're out there in the world to brand it as your sweet body. Fifth one, quickly, Tower Garden Lights. I know you guys are always asking about it. Just had a national marketing director meeting today. Unfortunately, there is no updates. Just so you guys know, behind the scenes, Stephen Millman, along with some of the leadership team out of our corporate office in Memphis, they have a meeting every week on this. It's just a quick update. Is there anything going on? And what is holding us up is the Electrical Commission inspector, the whole agency. They're just not making a decision on this. So it's nothing to do with us. Our corporation is so frustrated, and we're doing everything that we can. It's fingers crossed. They had no idea it was going to take this long. So it is, I know, a pain in the you-know-what. It's been really frustrating for those people that build tower gardens, but just know that the company has your back. They're doing everything to do this legal and get the right upgraded paperwork so that we can get the tower lights up and running. So as soon as an update happens, you guys will be the first to know. Local events here in the Newmarket area is Jen Bredden is having an event at her house tomorrow night, Design Your Sweet Life. And next week we have a big Prevention Plus in our backyard. Sean Nisbet is going to be delivering an amazing detox event. You do need to get a ticket if you're a distributor. I believe they're $10 or $15, and then guests are free. You do have to sign up and get tickets for that. And those events typically sell out, so you don't delay on your tickets. That's all I had. I don't know if we got Melissa, Jen, or Sarah. Did I catch everything before we introduce our awesome speaker, Alisa?
No, I think you summed it up pretty good.
Got it all? Okay.
I think so.
Awesome. Do we see our speaker? She might be.
Yep.
Is she on?
She's on. Yep.
Okay, I'll let you take over, my dear.
Awesome. I am so excited. I love each month us NMDs kind of get to pick who we want to have on our calls, and I always go for my favorites, and Alisa is definitely one of my favorites. I have been blessed to see her many times, although she does bring in some questionable weather wherever she travels. Snowstorms more than once, and tornadoes. So nothing is going to stop her today. She has to call in though, because her internet where she is a little wonky. She lives in the boonies apparently. But for those of you who don't know Alisa, she's been researching and teaching nutrition for 14 plus years. She specializes in nutrition for cancer recovery and prevention. She's a mom of 4, and she's super badass. And she's also passionate about teaching others about the whole food nutrition that we're so passionate about here. And she's gonna just share with us tonight about why it makes sense to her and her practice and her family from a health practitioner's perspective. So take it away, Alisa.
All right, can you guys hear me okay? Sorry, I thought I was unmuted. Oh.
You're good, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Okay, yeah. Good. All right. Awesome, guys. Thank you. I apologize so much about having to call in. I do live right in the boonies, and we have satellite internet, and it is so soft here because of the flooding through all the farmers' fields that the tower actually fell over. So they tried to get us up yesterday. Didn't work. I was hoping today it was going to work. So I thank you guys for your patience and for listening to me talk very, very quickly, because that's what I tend to do. So I think what I'll do is I'll just share my story, and I don't know if you guys allowed this space to ask any questions, but I can definitely take a few minutes to answer some questions you might have around the products. So like Sarah shared, I've been, this is actually my 15th year teaching nutrition. I left the healthcare industry. I thought I wanted to work in the healthcare field, and had started that, you know, at a young age, and was in that industry and felt incredibly frustrated by the amount of conditions that I was dealing with that were preventable. And I was seeing people who had lost significant quality of life to preventable things like unmanaged diabetes, strokes, heart attacks, you know, just all of these lifestyle issues that just kind of perpetuated until these people became sick, and then they required care, and I was in doing the care. And I decided that, I wanted to play more of a role in prevention. I wanted to teach people what it was that they could do to keep their body healthy and heal it, and which led me to change my education path. And I ended up in the nutrition field. And like I said, I've been doing this now for 15 years. I've spent the last 10, this is now going into my 11th year, specializing my area of research and knowledge around nutrition for people during the cancer process. And I'm a really big advocate for health education around cancer protection. I think that, when we look at our statistics here in Canada, we need to make some changes. And that's a big part of what I do is sharing that information to help people live a healthier lifestyle and do things like including Juice Plus. So I was introduced over 7 years ago by a personal trainer to the Juice Plus company and to the products. And being in the wellness field, I see pretty much every single company and every single product ends up on my desk. Somebody wants me to either check it out, whether or not they should take it, or somebody is trying to pitch me that I should sell it. So I had seen a lot. And to be honest with you, I'd run health food stores. I had been in the supplement field. I had taught supplement courses at the college, the nutrition college. I was not impressed with what I was seeing in the market. And I didn't carry any product lines. If I felt that there was something necessary, I would send you to the health food store, but I didn't want to attach my name to anything. So when I looked at Juice Plus, and this personal trainer did a great job, she answered all my crunchy questions, and she shared the research, which really, really impressed me. And I remember emailing the company and getting answers right away and getting the documents that I was looking for, which, at the health food store, we would do that. You'd not get a reply. I even had one supplement company send me a letter from a lawyer asking me to stop inquiring. So I didn't have a lot of faith. And here Juice Plus was clinically backed, all of these third-party, certifications, including Health Canada. And I would email the company, and they were like, yeah, here's the document, here's this, or here's an answer to that. So I was really impressed. What I got caught up on was the direct sales business model. And I actually declined joining the company for a year because I just wasn't sure how I would navigate that. And I think, when you guys are talking to practitioners, if they say no because it's direct sales, just remember, we really just don't know how to navigate that, like how we're going to explain that to our customers, especially if there's a little bit of negative feedback. So I had said no for a year. And during this year, this personal trainer built a relationship with me, and she was sharing on Facebook, growing on our tower garden. And I'd studied the chemicals on our food. So the thought of having chemical-free food for my family just made sense. So I had decided after about a year that I did want a tower garden. And at the time, I'm a mom of 4. My youngest child had a reaction about 8 months prior to me ordering a tower garden to his immunizations that left him hospitalized and then left him with a whole bunch of side effects that were long-term. He was living on antibiotics at 10 months old, and he couldn't poop without a suppository, and he had really severe asthma. And she had known that this was happening. So when I was buying the tower garden, she just said, do you think, you'd be willing to give the products to your son Jackson? Like, it's just powdered fruits and vegetables. What if it could help him? And I thought, oh my gosh, yes. Absolutely. I had already done my due diligence. I knew this was a really good company. I knew the products were clean, they were safe, they were, there was clinical evidence that showed that they worked. And that I did decide right then that I was going to put my 10-month-old on the red and green, the 2 blend powders, and I would just mix them into his food. So it only made sense. I am a businesswoman, and I had a very successful practice at the time. And it only made sense that I would put him, I would get a distributor account and put him on the capsules and then have a discount. And I was writing the tower garden off that way. So that's how I came in to the company. And we started using the Juice Plus with Jackson. And, within a week, we were noticing improvements in bowel status. Within about a week and a half, I was noticing that he required less asthma medication. And, by the end of 30 days, we were in with a pediatrician, and his blood work was clean for the first time in 8 months. And I say that lightly. I don't want you guys to think my baby was sick. I gave him Juice Plus and, he got better. My baby was really sick. I put really clean, bioavailable, so nutrition his body could absorb and make use of into his body. His body healed and repaired itself. And all of us have that ability for our bodies to heal and repair itself. We just have to give it the right tools, the right building blocks to do so. So that was kind of a big belief builder for us. I came home, I put the rest of the family on the products. And for about 6 months, I kind of just watched what was going on in the Juice Plus world. I wasn't ready to dive in. I didn't want to take on a second business. My first business, my practice, was insanely busy. I had 4 children. I wrapped my schedule around them. I was working 7 days a week. I had an 8-week waiting list. I had all the stress of big corporate accounts. I was doing what I loved, but I was absolutely miserable. And the thought of doing another business and taking more time that I didn't have away from my family, I wasn't sure that I was there for that. So flash forward a few months, I had a couple of sick clients come into my practice. I work with people during cancer. I decided to write a letter to their oncologist and say, hey, can we use this product, this whole food? We cannot use synthetic vitamins and minerals during chemotherapy and radiation. I know, here's powdered whole food. Can we use it? We were getting approved. I was getting approval in my practice with this letter. So I started using the Juice Plus with some of my cancer clients that were going through really heavy doses of chemotherapy and radiation. And we started to see improvements in them. Now, they weren't massive improvements, but in the nutrition world, in cancer, any improvement is a good thing. It's a step in the right direction. So I remember driving home from my practice one night, and I had just seen a client at the end of the day who had been really, really sick. And I had put her on Juice Plus and was doing her dietary protocols. And she had just shared with me, I don't know what I would do without Juice Plus. This stuff is helped me out so much. I'm feeling so much better. And I'm driving home and I'm thinking, if this is helping people who are sick, what's it going to do for the rest of us? And that just became that moment where I was like, I'm going to share it with everyone. And if they don't want it, that's okay. But I believe in this. I believe in nutrition. I know the body has the ability to heal itself. And what if someone got sick or didn't get better because I didn't share it? And that just became my mission. I thought, you know what, I'm just going to get in front of everybody I can and share, these products and why nutrition helps heal the body. And that's what I've done with this company is I've been able to get in front of people and just share. And in sharing I've been able to build a very successful business. I was able to come home full time. This replaced my full-time income. It was my practice. So now I just teach the courses I love to teach, and I consult on very difficult cases, and that's pretty much it. In addition to that, last summer, I was able to bring my husband home full time with us. So having mom and dad home all the time with 4 kids has just been amazing. Our life went from incredibly stressful to very organized and relaxed. And yeah, that's kind of my journey into this company and to where I am right now. So Sarah, is there any questions that you have, or did I cover it all?
You give me goosebumps every time I hear your story, and it's just like a snippet because there's so many layers and you have so many amazing talks that you give. But does anyone have any questions for Alisa? We have a handful of minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. You'll have to unmute because I can't read the chat.
I don't see any so far.
No.
Everyone's quiet. Oh my goodness. Oh,
I have one.
Oh, here's someone.
Yeah, it's Janice.
Hi, Alisa.
Hi, Janice. Hey, Janice. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, nice to see and hear you.
Yeah.
I just saw your picture, even though it's not in person. Anyway, my question is, what, the Center for Advancement in Cancer Education, at one time they used to recommend 6, 6, and 6. What's your recommendation for
people during cancer treatment?
Yeah.
So we dose a little, it depends on each person. So it's definitely case specific. I think for you guys, the best advice I can give, and I will answer that question as well, is our 2 of each a day is maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 red, 2 green, 2 purple, that's maintenance, right? If you're fighting something, a cold or a flu, if you're dealing with high stress, if there is some sort of physical condition happening, a maintenance dose isn't going to be enough to heal that crisis, right? Like, again, stress is a crisis, immune system. So we look at people going through cancer as there's a crisis kind of happening in their body. So they need a lot more than a maintenance dose. So doubling up is safe. It's fruits and vegetables. The trick that I use during cancer treatments or for people going through it is not necessarily adding a whole lot more, but breaking the dosage up as often as I can throughout the day. So a capsule every hour or a couple capsules every 2 hours so that, the dosage is relatively close to the same. It might be closer to a double dose depending on their day, but it keeps their blood nutrient levels high. It keeps their blood antioxidants high. When they do 1 dose a day or just 2 a day, their blood antioxidants and nutrition levels go up, but by the time their next dose happens, those levels are all really low. And for people who are trying to heal, keeping those blood levels as high and as steady as possible actually aids in the healing process. There was some research done several years ago around, when we're fighting a cold, the old theory was take vitamin C ongoing throughout the day. And part of the reason that works is because it was just keeping it in the blood. Does that answer your question?
Yes, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah,
Okay.
it's awesome. And I know one time Jim was sick when we were in Phoenix.
Yeah.
And he was
Yeah.
taking 2 of each every hour for about 6 hours, and he was better the next day. He was just different. He was really sick. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, see, every time you take fruits and vegetables in concentrated form, it bolsters the immune system as well. So when we're fighting something, if there's a really long period of time before that dose of nutrition goes in, the immune system gets suppressed again. So taking it consistently when we're not feeling well, again, it doesn't have to be a lot more. It just has to be more often.
Right. And I see there's a few questions posed there if you can see them.
Perfect. I can't see them, but Sarah, if you want to read a couple.
Yeah, everyone's loving that advice to listen. I know too, when I have
good.
something going on or someone in my family, it's always throughout the day and it never really gets past that 24 hours, which is amazing. So Shannon would like to know, how do you get around the objection that our studies don't have enough participants? That seems to be the big objection from other medical professionals that I've come across.
It is. It's so irritating. I just don't even understand. I'm like, okay, so it's working in this handful of people. Like, do you think doubling the numbers is going to make a difference? And it's just the research world. They look for how many people and how long it was done. So with some of our research, the groups are smaller and the timeline is shorter. But what I tend to point out when it comes to people who are, open to discussion around the research is I just say, well, we saw it made a difference. We know in 4 weeks or 6 weeks, it did this. So can you imagine what it's going to do after 6 months or a year? So it's kind of just helping them think a little bit bigger. The proof is there. The proof is irrefutable. When anything gets published, it's irrefutable. I had a chiropractor once at an event come up very, very loudly, very aggressively. He was with another company and say, your research is false, your company pays for it. And my answer, I just turned around and I looked at him and I'm like, you should probably let Harvard know. There's certain conversations that you're never going to win. I'm like, Harvard and Yale and University of Toronto and MD Anderson, you should probably pick up the phone and let them know their research is fake, because, it's not just that our research is published, guys. Our research is done by incredibly reputable institutions. And these are schools that would not risk their reputation for an outside health supplement company. So just don't get too wrapped up in it. Just remember the norm is large numbers of people, long periods of time. But we don't need that. We're proven that it's working in a small handful of people in a short period of time. And our proof is often more drastic than they'll see with medications with large groups of people over long periods of time. We're fixing things faster. So just kind of, you know, pick and choose your battles and maybe bring that up kind of as a vision piece.
Love it. You make everything sound so easy. There is another question from Meredith. How have people been able to get coverage for Juice Plus through benefits? I'm not sure if anyone can answer that. Or you?
Yeah, I don't, it depends. Yeah, if they have an extended package. So some benefits plan, I know our NMD benefits plan has like an expense account package. Some of those packages will allow some benefit companies. So if you're a registered if they're seeing a registered practitioner, so when my clients see me, I fill in benefit claim forms because I'm registered. I also include my product recommendations, and some of them are able to attach the invoice for my services separate with the product, their supplement recommendations as well. I know our local reserve here is able to do that through their benefits plan. And because I've recommended it and they've purchased the product through me, they get a secondary coverage for up to $500 for that. So that's up to them to call and really dive into their benefits plan and find out. And then find out specifically how they can use that. Because some people will get naturopath coverage, and whatever supplements the naturopath recommends, they can also get a separate amount of coverage for that as well.
Amazing. Anybody else have any questions for Alisa? We have about 3 minutes. Anyone?
All right.
Awesome.
That's okay.
We want to thank you so much for your time. I know you're a busy lady and a busy mama. And I hope that you get internet soon so you don't have to trek across town to do some work. I know I have some friends, some teamies that go through the same thing on my team. So you guys,
awful.
It is. And you kind of take for granted internet and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
The next time we move, we're moving somewhere with internet.
Well, your house looked beautiful, so I'm not sure if you want to move.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much,
Well, thank
Alisa.
you for having me.
You're welcome. Have a great night, everyone. And yes, this call is recorded, and it's always posted in our Team B the next day by Nikki. So no worries, it is. Have a good night, everyone.